More than 100,000 cars pass through the West Loop on the Kennedy Expressway every day. Steve Fifield wants to make them disappear. The Chicago real estate developer is pushing a plan to cover a noisy 5-block section of the highway with a tranquil park that would connect the office towers on its east side with the residential neighborhood to the west. He says a park would spur the area's growth, attracting companies to new high-rises built by developers like him.
One of the complaints that major tenants have about moving here is the lack of park space and lack of green area. You know, this area is somewhat soulless. This would transform the West Loop from a sea of parking lots and high-rise buildings to an area that has some real amenities. It would be sort of our Millennium Park West.
It's an idea that has worked in places like Boston and Dallas. Fifield is convinced it would work in the West Loop, an area that has become popular with office tenants and developers because of its proximity to commuter train stations and its abundance of buildable land. At the corner of Monroe and Desplaines Streets, Fifield wants to build a tower that could include office space, a hotel, and apartments. He latched onto the park plan in a meeting with his architect after being rejected by a tenant who said the neighborhood didn't have enough green space.
In a sea of asphalt, that lack of green has really held us up. So we said, geez, where could we do parks? And our first inclination was, well, maybe the city could condemn one of these sites and make it into a park. And then, I made the comment, yeah, it's too bad we can't build over the expressway. And the architect looked at me and said, you can't.
Fifield has been pitching his idea to community groups and city officials who would have the final say on whether the project gets built. Financing is the biggest obstacle for a city that is already struggling to pay its bills. Fifield estimated that decking over 1 block of the Kennedy would cost about $60 million. He proposes paying for the project with tax increment financing, or bonds that would be paid back with additional property tax revenue generated from rising real estate values in the neighborhood. Mayor Rahm Emanuel declined to comment, and downtown Alderman Brendan Riley did not respond to interview requests. The entire project would cover 15 acres and cost $300 million. But Fifield has proposed building it in phases, starting with the block between Madison and Monroe Streets.
The beauty of bridging over the expressway is it really makes the area west of Holstead Street feel like it's all connected to the downtown. Adding this green area and this relief with the major residential development to the west, would continue the 724 environment, where you've got people living, working, and playing all in the same area. And it really, it just would be such a great transformation for the city to do that.